Insta360 came up with an engineering masterpiece. There are so many mind-blowing features crammed into this little thing. This gimbal is just called Flow and it is very different. This thing is a game changer. So let's check it out and also compare it to the DJI Osmo Mobile 6. Got the new drip from Insta360, the new Flow gimbal. By the way, if you're interested already, then check out the product links in the description. I will list and link the best deals for you. And now let's get started with the comparison. There is one thing that I would like to point out before we start. 360 cameras are still somewhat of a niche pretty much. And from a developer's and manufacturer's perspective, a 360 approach to making videos requires lots and lots of ingenuity and also advanced tools and software for processing these videos. And Insta360 has all of that. They already have the software side figured out completely and they're pretty good at it too. And now with this, they bring their advanced tech and AI algorithms to the mainstream. 360 cameras are a niche, but everyone has a smartphone. So that was my little teaser for what's about to come. It's gonna be good. Let's start with the design. Here we have the Flow, here we have the Osmo Mobile 6. One part, two parts. Integrated tripod not integrated. It's basically a second part that's almost as big as a gimbal that you need to carry around. And if you consider also adding the plates into the mix, you can't mount it in this folded position, then you would actually have three parts and the Flow is still one part right there. So it's not only more compact, Flow is an all-in-one solution. It's a gimbal with a built-in tripod, with a built-in selfie stick, with a cold shoe mount, and it can also act as a power bank and charge your devices over USB-C. The OM6 also has a built-in selfie stick, but you will need an external tripod if you want to put it somewhere. Also, there is no cold shoe mount and it cannot charge other devices. And the craziest part is that the Flow is basically still has the same size, even though it's way more compact. So this is just a smartphone gimbal. This is an all-in-one shooting tool. A smartphone gimbal, a selfie stick, a tripod, and it's even a power bank. By the way, Flow is the only smartphone stabilizer on the whole market with a built-in tripod. So spacey, I love it. The phone clips are almost identical. The one of the Flow is a few millimeters wider. Other than that, both feature the same magnetic phone holders. By the way, you will also get a grip cover. This is what it looks like, and you can put it in place just like so. And this is what it looks like with the grip cover in place. Really snug fit. Yeah, and this way it feels soft, nice, and just extra grippy. And by the way, I'm also a really big fan of this case right here. It's just so nice. Check this out. This is just perfect for throwing it into your bag. Then you don't need to worry about the bracket scratching up anything or the nice transparent hull getting scratched. So yeah, this is awesome. Alright, so before I say anything, check this. You won't even need to remove the clip. It's perfect. It's compact, one part, three parts. Takes ages. Grab it, it's one move, tripod comes out, boom. That was a notification for starting the app, by the way. This one, clip, tripod, boom. This is so much more efficient. Fast and smooth experience with the Flow. It's just nice. I love it. You literally have three parts, and this you can just put it in your hoodie or in any bag. One move, tripod, boom. It's the best. So to recap, the Flow gimbal unfolds in a single motion. It will auto balance itself. It will auto power on, automatically also give you the notification to start the app so that you can get shooting right away. Lastly, let me demonstrate it with a smartphone. I can clip it in like so, or of course, remove the clip. So the full experience, clip it on, One motion. There we go. App has been started and we're ready to shoot. Tripod, boom, ready. And again, one motion. There we go. Full experience for the Osmo Mobile 6. Unfold it. Tripod. Place it. Clip. Boom. No app notification though. So I gotta start the app and there we go. And again, folding it. Clip. Tripod. And fold it up. The Flow gimbal will give you up to 12 hours of battery life, and it can also act as a power bank and charge your devices. The OM6 on the other hand cannot do that, and it will only give you up to 6.5 hours of battery life. Bigger battery, more features. So let's get to it. Insta360's advanced AI tools and tracking algorithms. For processing 360 footage, you basically need tracking all the time. And I'm pretty sure that Insta360 worked on this feature for years, and it shows. It definitely shows. Because not only is the tracking super smooth and reliable, it can also identify you and then re-identify you after you got lost, after the tracking lost you, or the subject for that matter. The OM6 can't do that. Yeah, so in the tracking compartment, the OM6 gets destroyed heavily, and I mean heavily. This is where Insta360 is absolutely leading. So check this. First of all, we have the person re-identification feature. Flow can accurately identify and of course track the target person, even when you go for crazy maneuvers like this one, switching around persons in front or behind. The OM6 doesn't have this feature at all. Person re-identification is not possible with the Osmo Mobile 6. So the tracking just gets lost fairly easily. Secondly, we have all angle tracking. Flow can recognize a subject from all angles basically and still keep tracking it even when the subject changes shape or size as it moves. The OM6 has problems on this front too. When the shape changes too much, it will lose the tracking. And also when the subject just moves too much. Next up, we have slow motion tracking. That's a Flow only feature. It supports tracking in slow motion too. The OM6 can't do that at all. Tracking is just not available in slow motion mode. To give an explanation, at higher frame rates, you either need more processing power or a way more efficient app, i.e. software, to make this available on all sorts of phones. So Insta360 came up with a very efficient algorithm, as it seems. Then we have zoom tracking. Flow supports zoom tracking all the way up to the limits of your phone. The OM6 can't do that either. It's limited to a 3x zoom factor. And also Flow will keep tracking you no matter how far you zoom in. There are fail-safe measurements too that we will talk about in a second. And also the gimbal settings will adjust automatically for better stability. Then we have a smarter recovery feature, and this ties into all the mentioned modes basically. Flow will basically always stay in the tracking phase and always try to identify or re-identify the subject when it moves out of the frame and then back into the frame. It's always on the look, so to say. The OM6 on the other hand will just give up when the subject is blocked for 2 or 3 seconds, then the app will just lose tracking and it won't come back either. This feature also includes that the Flow will zoom out when it loses the tracking. It will zoom out all the way, even to the wide angle. Of course, only when the subject moves out of the frame or it loses tracking. So it will zoom out all the way, then try to find the subject again. And when the tracking is back, it will zoom back in and then continue to track it regularly. And you also don't need to worry about the speed of your subject, because Flow also keeps tracking the direction the subject moves. And all of that basically means that Flow will always remember the subject during a recording, and it will always continue to track the subject, or at least try to, even re-identifying the subject when it moves out of the frame or gets blocked by an object or disappears for any other reason. And lastly, we have the always on tracking feature. That's basically what I just said, but it's a setting. You can also turn it off. But yeah, when you enable it, the app will always try to identify and re-identify the subject or the person when he or she gets back into the frame. It's just always looking. This feature on the Osmo Mobile 6, as I said, it's non-existent. Tracking, once it's lost, it will not come back. So unlike other gimbals that lose sight after 3 seconds or so and then give up, the Flow will always keep looking for the subject until it eventually gets back into the frame. So all in all, that means of course excellent, absolutely excellent results when it gets to tracking you. For example, you have a live mode for video calls or live streaming, you name it. And with all the features that I just talked about, you basically never ever have to worry that the tracking will lose you. So you can focus 100% at the task at hand. Another killer feature of the Flow is the smart wheel. It's touch sensitive and it's like the old iPods. It's so cool. You can swipe in circles to change settings. This way you can switch between the different gimbal modes. You can even go both directions and you can also navigate the gallery using this feature. The OM6 only offers one button, a one-way button for cycling through the modes. And another cool feature of the Flow is that you can, while recording, switch between the back and the front camera. That's a really cool feature and only a few apps can do that while recording. The OM6 can't do it, for example. There you need to stop the recording, switch the camera and then start it again. Another similar feature to the smart wheel is the zooming in and out with, well, it's part of the smart wheel. With this ring, you can turn it for zooming in and out and it will also automatically switch between the different cameras. I mean, it can switch between the different lenses on the back camera, for example. When you zoom out, it will switch to wide angle lens. When you zoom in, it will switch to the main lens and then it will switch to the telephoto lens. On the OM6, you need to switch the setting on your phone. So this smart wheel is definitely a really cool tool and a massive game changer for mobile phone gimbals. Let me show you how amazing it is. You can press these buttons, of course, but you can also just tap the wheel. And when you double tap, not double press, but just double tap, it's touch sensitive. Then you can switch between the modes, just like that. Or you can also swipe in circles. With the joystick you can of course rotate the phone and the gimbal just like that. And with the outer ring you can zoom in and out. It will snap back in place when you let go. So again, this wheel for zooming in and out. When you press and hold the switch button, you can switch into the gallery. Short press the on-off button, you will return back to the shooting mode. And now check this out. For gallery navigation, the smart wheel is so amazing. You can use this to scroll through the timeline. And with this, you can zoom into the video. This is so amazing. And with these buttons, you can cycle through your media. So cool. And the tracking is just the best. Check this out. On the OM6 you need to press the M button to cycle through the modes. You can only do this one way. Press and holding the cycle button basically will do nothing. If you want to access the gallery, you need to press a button on the phone and then you also can't use anything else. You know, the joystick will still move the camera. This wheel won't do anything. You cannot use this for gallery navigation whatsoever. And you also can't return to the shooting mode. You need to press the back button on the phone 2 times and then you're back. Single press will track, double press will recenter the camera, and triple press. And triple press. Oh, the OM6 can't do the triple press. Oh, I didn't know that. You can't turn around the phone. When you triple press on the Flow, it will turn around the camera. There is not enough range of motion on the OM6. I didn't know. So to recap, the smart wheel has a minimalist design and controls a host of useful functions from shooting control to video replay. And to completely smash the OM6 and pretty much all other mobile phone gimbals out there, we even have a bonus category. So here we have all the bonus features that are available only for the Flow. First of all, we can take 360 panorama photos. Just hit the start button and it will go through the motions. Flow is the only smartphone gimbal that can do that. The only gimbal that can shoot 360 panorama photos. So cool. Secondly, we have the hoop mode. That's a feature for all basketball fans out there. Flow basically uses AI features to capture the highlights of a basketball game, recognizing when you make a point, you know, when the ball goes through the hoop, and then allowing you to easily edit your best shots into a highlight reel. And thirdly, we have the widescreen mode. This mode is especially made for capturing super cinematic footage with a wide frame, well, with a wide frame ratio, 2.35 to 1 to be specific. And it also comes with a wide range of instant filters, and they do look good too. Last but certainly not least, pricing. Believe it or not, Both of them are priced at $159. Gimbal plus built-in tripod plus power bank plus better tracking plus smart to wheel plus creative features, or a gimbal with an external tripod. So as you saw, they have the same price point, but one of them just offers way more features, way more value. Can you tell which one? I know, it's very funny. To name a few features that I didn't cover in the video, we have a beginner-friendly auto mode, we have a follow mode F, we have a pan follow PF mode, and we also have an FPV mode for those awesome drone lookalike shots. Also, the Flow is a top performer in this market segment with a 2900 milliamp hour battery capacity and up to 12 hours of battery life. And that's of course so that you can make use of all those creative effects that Insta360 offers, like the 360 panorama photo, time shift, hyperlapse, motion time-lapse, barrel roll, dolly zoom, and many more. We also get accessories, a spotlight. This is a professional grade light with a 95% restoration of natural daylight. So it has a very high color rendering index. We also have a built-in cold shoe mount. And here you can basically slide in your mic receiver or what have you, just like that. That's actually genius. And you can also add a custom insert right here into this transparent shell. Yeah, and that brings me to the design. So lastly, all in all, I absolutely love it. It looks so spacey. It kind of reminds me of a moon rover. It's futuristic and cool, and I absolutely love the transparent hull. Kind of brings back the transparent Game Boy nostalgia. That is so dope. That is the best. Definitely trippy. I can highly recommend this little guy. Check out the product links in the description if you're interested. But before you go, smash that like button, then subscribe, ring the bell and click all to never miss amazing tech magnet videos. That's it for this one. Enjoy your day and I will see you soon.